What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and I think this is the right moment to talk about 5 things I hate about my Audi A7. So let's go through this real quick. And number one is kind of a love-hate situation. So it brings me to the design of the doors, which is number one, the frameless doors. And like I mentioned, this is a love-hate situation because I love the design of it. It looks sporty, it looks elegant, but specifically on the winter time, and I pretty much knew already this was going to become a problem. These windows actually get really stuck through not only the snow. So if the snow would be smooth, wouldn't be a problem, but here in Illinois we get super cold and they literally freeze, and it makes it just impossible in the morning to open up the doors. The windows do not come down, and I think it's just one of the big problems of the frameless design on this car and many other cars that come this way. And again, this is a personal point of view of my things. Let's go to number 2. Okay, and so number 2 brings me to the jack points on this specific vehicle. And let me tell you, me as a car enthusiast, I like to work a lot in my car, and I find it a big problem, which is trying to get my car on jack stands. Actually, it's almost impossible for me. So the jack point on this vehicle, it is limited to the OEM jack that is provided by Audi, which is super tiny and super dumb. I'm gonna say the word dumb. I cannot rely on that. Of course, you can actually take off the plastic piece right here, where you can easily slide in a bigger jack. But still, I mean, come on, Audi. You could have just went a little bit further and just give us a little bit more space, so I could at least jack it up from one side and put my jack stands on the other. At least that could have been real helpful. It was not a big deal, but they didn't do it. They just limited to 1 point. I know a lot of people find some extra points on the bottom, which have to be found by taking away several of splash guards, and I find it really annoying because my vehicle spends a lot of time on jack stands while I'm working on it, whatever kind of job I'm doing to it. And that's my thing number 2 on the list there. Okay, so thing number 3 on my list actually comes with this specific package. As you guys already know, and if you watched my last video on the review, I have a 2012 Audi A7 Prestige package that comes with several of many technological features. And that brings me to the number 3, which is all these extra options going bad over time. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys an example on what I'm talking about. So many of the options, let me put my car on the on ignition. So as you know, many of the extra options on a Prestige package model are, one of which most popular, the head-up display. And let me tell you guys, it is not working. The other big feature of this vehicle is, and let me start the car for that. Is the Audi cruise control. And let me tell you, that is not working right now again. The other really nice feature about the Prestige package is the blind spot assist, which are the lights integrated here that tells you you have a car in your blind spot, and you activate it by a button right here. And let me tell you, it does not work. And with the cruise control, of course, so we're talking about every single thing on the adaptive cruise control and the drive assist not working in the moment. That's why I said when I started the video that it was the perfect moment to talk about the 5 things I hate about this vehicle. So as of right now, this moment, nothing of these systems are working. So technically it's like I'm driving a basic model car right now. That's absurd, and I'm gonna tell you what happened. It was perfectly nice, was working perfectly actually. I left to Mexico for a month vacation, and when I came back, it just stopped working. Nobody drives my vehicle. The car was parked for a whole month. It was hot outside, I understand that. Probably the system, the sensors are not communicating with the modules. I don't know, but I'm going to have to take it to the dealership and get that checked. So that's my point number 3, which I hate about this vehicle. Also, the head-up display, it is not a module problem. You can probably turn it on. So supposedly right now it should be on, and obviously you can't see anything. And I checked on forums, and the thing with this piece right here is actually the internal parts are really cheap, in a point that something is broken, so it doesn't let the display work. It's probably just flat stopped in one position, and it just does not scroll up and down so I can see my gauges or whatever information there. I've never seen how this thing works, because since I got this car, this thing doesn't work, so I got to get that fixed as well. Okay, so now with that being cleared, point number 3 takes me to the point number 4, and I am in the outside for this, and you don't have to see anything, just listen. I don't know if the camera can actually capture this, but my point number 4 is the engine noise. That's right. This is the 3rd Audi I've ever owned, and that clicking noise just does not go anywhere, like every single car. And apparently this is a normal problem, so I kind of just got used to it. But the problem is, that little ticking noise, like sometimes it feels like it's idling a little bit, even just stop, just as it is right now. But I have no engine codes at all. But that's my problem. The problem is, I'm just right here standing, listening to the car, and it makes me feel like it's going to break. Like it literally feels like my car is gonna break, like something's bad, or something is going bad internally in the engine, which is not ideal. But this, like I said, there's the 3rd Audi I've owned, and every single one of them does the same exact thing. So I just got used to it. But it's still super annoying, and I hate it. Okay, so with our 4th problem solved, we have our problem number 5. This actually looks like 10, but it's 5. Okay. So 5 brings me to maintenance. Not maintenance itself, because regardless if it's an Audi or a Ford or a Chevrolet, we run on a petrol engine. We have 4 wheels, 4 shocks, we have a steering wheel. You get the picture. It's literally the same thing, but not maintenance. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about like, I don't know how to say this, and I'm mentioning this because I've went through this already, and it was kind of annoying that point. So here's the thing: nobody, like these small shops, independent shops, or whatever you want to call it, nobody wants to work on your Audi vehicle, even if it's like the simplest thing. One of which is, and this is a really stupid one, it is the key fob battery. Yes, that's right, the key fob battery. And I'm not talking specific to this one. This one is fairly more simple to get to its battery, but I had the knife one on my first Audi, this being in 2006 Audi A4. You had to do some kind of wobbling around to get this thing off and to get the battery off of it. So there's a story. I went to AutoZone. I went there. I needed a new battery for my key fob. I asked the person that attended me that I needed a new battery, that I wanted to see what size battery it was, she had some kind of tool to open these key fobs, and they literally just told me, like, no, to replace this key fob is way too expensive, so I suggest you go into the dealership. And I was like, but you probably just need a screwdriver, just do it. I'm giving you authority to do it. If it breaks, there's no formal contract, it's my problem, right? So I just went back to my car, got a flat screwdriver, and just opened the shit out of it, and I got the battery out and just went back and asked for the battery I needed. That was simple. Another one, same vehicle. One of my headlights, HIDs by the way, was going bad. Apparently it was kind of a weird symptom, so I kind of thought it was the actual module, and that was like my concern because those modules are really expensive, and it ended up being just the light bulb. So for some reason the light bulb was already broke, but it was still working, so when vibration was going on, it went off. So I got it to actually a shop, like a legit shop, and I told them to check it. If there was the ballast going bad, I mean, I would pay for it, you guys replace it, no big deal. The thing is, I didn't want to go through taking off the whole bumper, because I know in these cars it's super annoying to do that. And same story, they threw me out and they were like, no, just take it to the dealership. So I went to the obvious. I bought the light bulbs online. I don't remember what shop I used, but I bought the light bulbs online and hoping there was that the problem. Someday I got off from work and I just started taking off the whole bumper and pull out the headlight, and apparently it was just the bulbs that were literally broken. So that fixed the problem. And yeah, that became a super annoying thing that literally nobody wanted to work on these cars. Like, what is it? It's not a Ferrari. It's the same as your Chevrolet, your Ford. I mean, like, but whatever, I just got over it. Whatever job I can do to my cars, I do it myself. If not, I actually have a person I know, a house mechanic guy, really cool guy, and whatever it has to do with suspension wise and things that I don't have the tools for it, I take it to him, and he understands the way I see things, and he's like, yeah, I got it, I can do it. Sometimes we need some tech to get things replaced, like in case of the rear brake pads, because we have electronic parking brake, but I can get through that. So even that, I've done it like outside of the wall, the Audi wall, of course, talking about that. But yeah, I mean, that's it for this video, guys. Those are 5 things I hate about my Audi, and probably some Audis. I mean, this coming through with not only this vehicle but the previous vehicles I've owned as well. This is totally personal, and I hope you guys enjoyed your video. If you guys do not agree with some of these things, or you think I missed something like really big problem on these cars, let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.